Good morning, everyone. It is Feature Friday. And just FYI, for those of you who are like in Page Wheel over the next few days, we are on a massive bug hunt. Anything like and be nitpicky, like you do not have to apologize. Diane, I don't think she's here. She always apologizes before she sends me stuff. And I'm like, no, like, thank you. So anything that's annoying to you, something that's not working, please send it through the chat. Those are always like the things that are stopping people always go to the front of the list, but even the annoying things are going to the front of the list right now because we're trying to get everything kind of amazing before we roll out the next feature. So that would be great. So that live chat is me, so do not be scared. I will only send you silly gifs. So that is my that is my goal in life, is to make your life better with gifs. So yes, you have your marching orders. So today I thought I would do something. The features we've been talking about over the last, if you missed the last few Feature Fridays, you might want to go to the learn.pagewheel.com/replays place that has all the replays in it, or our YouTube channel does too. The last few Feature Fridays have been like actual features that we've rolled out, things that are new. But I thought today what I would do is a real quick run through of something I do in Page Wheel all the time. And that is to use it for something that I've created for Kids Activities blog. So on Kids Activities blog, I do coloring pages, printables. I have a lot of Page Wheel created things on there, like meal plans and checklists and mom planners and stuff like that. And I have a whole thing on that if you want more information about that. But the other thing I do is I use things that my team has created that are more, like today we'll upload some craft type things. So what I use Page Wheel for is to host the craft thing and then to use the sales pages to sell it. And so let's go ahead and do that. And I'll show you how quick and easy that can be. And know that most of the traffic I'm sending to this sales page already knows me. So it's coming from my email list, it's coming from my blog. So I might say, hey, here's information about sharks. Here's a shark craft pack. It's $5. Go pick it up here. So a lot of these things I'll also put on Etsy. I put them into my printables library, which is a reoccurring subscription. And the bottom line on that eventually will be like, buy it for $5 or get unlimited ones for $5 a month. And so you can see that value proposition to a mom who's trying to entertain toddlers could be very, very lucrative if we do it right. So I'm going to share my screen and I'll walk you through kind of how to do that. So I am let's go to the first page of Page Wheel and we'll let people in as we go. I tried to close down as many tabs as possible, but let me get rid of this. All right, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and start on the product builder. And then we're going to go into upload your own PDF. And then we're going to go into this. And I am going to grab, that was here, my shark pack. So it's going to, if you skip to this one first, it will automatically put the name of your file. Well, that's kind of, I'm going to change that here because remember, it's going to write the sales page based on that. So let's do awesome shark crafts for kids. And then this is mine. Yes, I know. And then push that. So what it's doing is uploading. I think this one has about 10 pages of, it's like four or five different crafts with templates that they can go with. So if I wanted to then go in and add pages from Page Wheel, add a cover, all that kind of stuff, I would check that. If I had another, like maybe I want to do a shark pack plus a, whale pack for a full ocean pack, I could go ahead and do another PDF upload. In this case, this is what I want to upload. This is what I want to share. So I'm just going to go straight to the web page builder. And it's going to pull the colors that I default to on a, and basically what that means in Page Wheel is whatever the color palette was the last time you used it, is what it will default to. And so for me, that's generally bright, very bright colors. You won't be shocked that some of the Page Wheel colors are in my brand colors if you go to Kids Activities Blog. Although I have been making a few things that are all in blues for some clients. So we'll see. We'll see what this one turns out to be. Oh, it is a crazy one. It's like the Christmas one. And I'll show you how to change that if we need to after the magic is applied. So you can see the title comes into the AI Assist. So that's where you could like really play with it. And I would love to change this back to like that one. Actually, let's do that one. So it's going to bring me into, and then the other thing to think about is like, if you see how drastically different it changes when you use the same color palette, just with a different emphasis. I kind of like that one. And then this is going to be, those are the pages in my Shark Craft. You can see that the default is the first page. Anytime you have like no cover in Page Wheel, the first page of your upload will be the go into the mockup. And then you can see all of this kind of comes along here. This is something that I'm going to put on for $5. So, and then, so that's going to change this. I'm going to go through and just say, I really don't need that many download. I end up taking away words. And remember, if we wanted a different layout, we could just click here and go to the refresh section. I actually love that one. I think it works really well for this because it shows how this isn't all the pages, but it shows that there's a lot of pages. I'm going to get rid of this section because I don't really need to talk them into it. This one, I am going to get rid of about 90% of because really not necessary. Like, and then I don't need their phone number, so I'm gonna get rid of that. So basically, I'm pretty cool with that because they can see that there's a lot of pages. They can, and I might go in here and actually list the pages that are involved. For $5, I might not. I mean, like, come on, it's one of those things that you want it or you don't. So then, because this is a paid product, for those of you who have not done paid products before, you'll see the receipt at the top because nobody's going to see this delivery page until they've paid. So the receipt's going to be at the top. This section right now is something that we're working on. There's like really 2 extra sections that are showing up on the delivery page right now. So let me show you how to deal with that right now. You could hide them or you could delete them. Though that problem should go away this weekend though. So basically this is what they'll see. And then this first this must be this one. I need to unhide that one. The first button is going to be the delivery page, the delivery button. And what I would do if I was doing this without y'all watching, I would go and check that since this has been a little bit weird. And then this one, I would want to send them back to more Shark. The second button is what we call the community button, and you can really use it for whatever you want to. But for this one, it makes sense. More Shark activities and crafts. And what I would be doing is sending them to Kids Activities Blog. I have a whole bunch more Shark stuff. And I would do a, in this case, I would probably send them to a page that has all Shark stuff there. All right. This is also something that they'll be getting rid of. That's happening on all of them. It's not something that's stopping anything. Just FYI, don't be afraid of it. That's one of the reasons why we're doing the little bug hunt over the weekend and early next week. All right, and then this is the delivery email. So this is one of the reasons why I'm using this, using Pagebill for this, is that they can pay for it, they can get it on the delivery page, and then I'll also be sending them something here. One of the things I do, and this, we're still working on the AI. We could run the AI again to see if it made it a little bit better. But just be aware that the editor on the AI for the email is a little iffy. There's always seems to be at least one or two typos. The other thing that I like to do is, it's coming from me. So these I get a little bit chattier in, and then I also might send them, what I do anytime I deliver a PDF or a download or a coloring page or something to somebody, because remember, they're getting that in their email, is I have a bunch more of that on the site. So I probably would have 2 or 3 call to actions in this, like, hey, these activities go really well with these shark snacks, or here's a shark game the whole family can, or here's, if you're using S's for shark for a letter S lesson, here's some more letter S activities. So thinking about what that next step for that person might be who just purchased or downloaded whatever you have. And so I would probably go in and edit that a little bit, and then I would publish it. So that is done. And the crazy thing is I now can deliver this and take money for it. And I don't know, maybe less than 10 minutes here. And I was slower because I was on video. So the other thing I wanted to show you about that is now, let's say, first of all, let's look this really quick. So then I push that button, it sends you over to CopyPacks, and I could create a whole social media, email sequences, all that kind of stuff for this $5 product by just coming over to CopyPacks. So this automatically goes, I could choose whatever I wanted to, I could make little video scripts, I could do all sorts of stuff just for this if I wanted to. What I want to do is, because I have a whole series of craft packs that I'm going to be launching for $5. And so what I'm going to do now is go in and duplicate it so that the next time, so I'm going to go into here, duplicate it. So I could either do the same thing with the next craft pack, or I could duplicate this one and then edit it in different ways. So let me show you how that would go. Like if I wanted to do my whale pack as a separate pack, is I could just go into the copy. And basically what it's going to do is just make a complete copy. I can come in here. Aha, that's where that's coming from. I just found the bug. It's opening it in a new window. So you can see the red warning, which has been happening in multiple of you guys. All right, so this is the copy. What I want to do is I could add another PDF and delete the last one. So let's do the scavenger hunt, for instance. And I could go in and delete the previous pages. When you think about something that's 10 pages, it's probably just easier to start from scratch and go in, because everything was so automatic. But I just want to show you that if you have something that's very similar, like for instance, I'm going to be doing a holiday series. So it will all be about holiday this, holiday that. So I really would only be changing 1 or 2 words and the PDF. So it might be easier to do the copy. But so for something like this, it'd probably be easier to start from scratch with a brand new funnel. So anyway, I wanted to show you how easy it is to just create something, even though you have something already made. And this is one of the things a lot of us way overthink, is that we have all these things in our, things we made 100 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, last month, and we think we have to have something new today to launch. I would encourage you today, in fact, this is your homework, is to go look in your Dropbox, in your Google file, on your computer for what PDFs do you already have. Is it something that you could bring into a page build product? Doesn't have to be like complete, because you could add a page or two to it to make it complete. Or it might be something that you never got around to launching last year that you could launch today with 10 minutes of work, and put a price tag on it and throw it out there with a few social posts and see how it goes. So one of the things that I have seen consistently in the blogging world, which is where I come from, is really the key to success is launching, publishing, posting. Like, it doesn't even matter what sometimes. Like, that's the big secret. If you're waiting for like the big thing or the perfect thing, that is an obstacle to a lot of other people that are just being really, really quick and pushing out. And this is where, big sites like Disney Kids went under when sites like Kids Activities Blog, which is my blog, flourished, is because I wasn't waiting for legal. I wasn't waiting for all these other things to happen. I didn't have to have perfect branding and perfect this and perfect language. I could publish this post, and I did publish this post. So you go to the front page of Kids Activities Blog, you'll see the shark crafts. I've published, 2 shark crafts in the amount of time that somebody might have, put together one, template to go to draft to be, like saying it's okay, or edited the 16 steps that somebody else might do. So one of the things I just challenge you is think about, what can I post? What can I publish? What can I launch today that you already have in your archives? All right, any questions? Oh yeah, Cynthia is talking about the emails. So one of the things that I want you to think about, this is something I learned in the great internet catastrophe of 2024/2025, is most of my traffic used to come from Google, used to come from other source, Facebook, that kind of stuff. And then today in 2025, most of my traffic comes from my email list. And so what's really cool about that is that's traffic I control. So I get to control that. I get to tell them where to go. Whereas if I put it on Facebook, I put it on Pinterest, I tell Google it's there, they decide where to send people. So what I want you to think about, anytime you send out an email to your people, that is a special like gift that you have that you can communicate with that person. So anytime I deliver something, I'm always putting in, and it's selfish on my point because I need traffic. So I want them to come back to the shark snack. I want them to come back to the 50 shark crafts for kids. I want them to come, S's for snake too. So thinking about what can I put in place that I'm delivering to them. But then on the other hand, they're saying, I just got this free thing. And then, oh yeah, I am doing we are setting the letter S today. So why don't we go to get this too? And oh, that's so nice that she sent that. But quite honestly, it's for my benefit, because the more I can get them into my world, the more that they want more things, the more that they understand that they're supported within my community. And I have to deal with those algorithms outside. Yes, you could totally use Page Builder to sell your crochet patterns, Christina. I have a friend that does knitting stuff. Yeah. and like those patterns, because people are wanting those patterns. They're, you know, and they're not super expensive in most cases. And so putting them onto a big, you know, a big funnel on one of the funnel softwares or something like that, you'd have to sell 100 just to pay for the, you know, the hosting of that software. Oh, Kim says I do a monthly printable craft bundle for subscribers. This could work. I love it. Yeah. And so you could do several different things too, is you could create like kind of secret links for your people that are in a membership, so that you're just sending out those secret links to the secret funnels, or you could be putting those forward facing, and you might do both, forward facing with a price and then a secret link. And that would be a really good application for the duplication if you want those things to be the same, one with a price and one a secret funnel without a price.
One is the membership one has more than the printables are just one asset out of like a whole bunch.
Mm-hmm.
So they get all that. I'm just thinking that I could just pull because I do get asked if I sell them separately, and I never
Yeah.
usually do.
Mm-hmm.
So I could pull them and sell them separately for like a lesser price, but
Yeah.
then sell them to the membership. Like you can also next time, instead of, you can have access to all of them, like you say
Mm-hmm.
with yours,
Right.
and all these other things that I offer as well inside the
Mm-hmm.
membership.
And for those of you who think like, because one of the things that opened my eyes to that world is I have, you know, 1,800 coloring pages on Kids Activities blog. I have about 200 of them on Etsy for a price. You can come to Kids Activities blog and get them for free, or you can get the same thing on Etsy for a price. And guess what? People buy them. Like, because they don't know, like it's all about what do they know, what is their knowledge base. If they find it through Etsy, they're willing to pay $2 for the pack because they found it on Etsy and it's cheap. But you know, and I've never, like in the, I don't know, 5 years to 6 years I've been doing this, I've never had someone email me mad, you're giving this away on your site. Like they don't know, like it's, you know. And so don't overthink this. And my rationale when because I was scared of that in the beginning, I'm the girl who will, you know, if you're mad, I'm going to refund you. Like it's not, you know, it's not worth it to my day to be ruined by a refund of a $2 to $5 item. So, but it seems important to you. So I'm gonna like, so that's what I say. I was like, if anyone ever says anything, I'll totally refund them or send them some free stuff. And it's never come up in 5 years. So,
I have a question about the hero because it showed the pictures from, so I pulled some of the pages from the
yeah,
PDF. So if you duplicate it and change the PDF, will it pull those pictures for the next
yeah.
hero?
So sometimes you'll have to go through the whole publication period. So,
Yeah.
sometimes it just depends like where we are. But there was one time that it wasn't refreshing, or it was refreshing on the big one, but not the one below, because there's also
Okay.
that secondary
Yeah.
one. But once you hit that publish, right before you get to the email, that was where
Yeah.
it goes. Yeah.
And like you say, they already know me by the point that they're buying. They're
Yeah.
buying from my email or my social media. So I don't need the, like you say, the whole long, oh my, sell them cold kind of thing.
Yeah, and sometimes that short, that using in the pull down the short and sweet
Yeah.
is really is something that I do sometimes. But quite honestly, it's so easy to go in and hide different sections. I almost just use the
I
digital
do it all the
product
time
ones.
because I want the option.
Yeah, yeah. So I might
But
change
then
my
I think,
mind
no, I don't
later.
need that. I don't care about that. They know
Yeah,
me.
so Beth, you know, I've been on a lot of email providers, and you might check with, you know, other people that are in here. We use Go High Level now for for the ones that we send out for Moolah and that kind of stuff. I it's a pain for me to write email in there. I almost cry every time. Um, so I like, unless you're really super tech savvy, I don't recommend that. What I've been using over the last, you know, many years for Kids Activities blog is ConvertKit, which is now called Kit because they like just went VC funding and raised a cajillion dollars. So they got all fancy all of a sudden. But so Kit works really well. They do have some low cost to free entry level stuff. It is pretty pricey when you get into the big lists like like I have for but it has a lot of features that we use and it's pretty deliverable. If you're just getting started, like really finding something cheap, that kind of stuff is not like, don't feel bad about that because you can move a list at any time. All it means is you're downloading a CSV, just like you do in your list, you could do in your list in PageWheel and uploading it to another service. So never feel like you're locked in to an email provider. And I don't do a lot of sequences. I do a lot of emailing, but I usually do the more broadcasting. And it's just because, I don't know, I'm more of a, if I said it, I will forget it. And then like 6 years later, you will have an automatic sequence that like I don't ever remember that I even did. And for those of you on Rachel's list, I promise you there's a sequence that you're going to get at some point that nobody knows is out there. So if that happens, send me a little note. Holly, I got this really weird note from you guys. And I'll be like, oh crap, let me go find that. In fact, I told Rachel the other day, I was like, there is an email that I cannot find anywhere that people keep sending me. And I've been through all of the email providers. I cannot find where this email is coming from. So that's why I don't do sequences because I'm the girl that would forget it. And like, yeah. And then like 6 years later, someone's opted in for something that it doesn't deliver properly. And I'm like, I don't even know where that is. So. Yeah, Active Campaign is great. I mean, I had some on MailChimp. What's the really inexpensive one that's like $27 a month, no matter how big your list is? Fresh, what is? I don't even remember. But there's quite a few out there, and for the most part, you're going to be fine with them until you get to a bigger. I would say go with something simple until you know what you need, or tell you're like, hey, I need this feature or I'm really lacking this, and then you can go out and find it.
I had an automatic campaign that was going out, and my husband would say to me, "You're teaching such and such today?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Well, I got an email saying you are, and it's under this name that I had like 5 years ago. I was used to be Real Life Revised, and I was like, no, that should be shut off. I could not find it. It was months. Finally, I got a hold of Active Campaign, and they looked with me, and we actually found it. And he hasn't mentioned any emails lately, but I get it. You're like, where is that? I thought
Where
I
is
turned all
that?
those off. It's crazy.
It's so crazy. And like in ConvertKit, you have to like have little, kind of little opt-in boxes for everything, even if you don't have an opt-in box to create the flow. It's a little complicated, but what will happen is you'll create something that you didn't actually create an opt-in box for, but it's still in the system. And that same thing happened to me is I ran a thing for a sensory swing that like a free plus shipping offer for a sponsor for a while. And that thing never died. I mean, the offer actually died, but my part of it, I could like I would go in and be like, okay, I finally killed it. And nope, someone else would send me another email and say, why can't I get this offer anymore? And I'm like I think I had 3 or 4 of the different like it was like I couldn't kill it. I was like, I hate that offer. I can't like it's haunting me 3 years later. Yeah, welcome sequences are really smart, you guys. That's one of the few things that I will sequence because it has it has an ending. Like, you opt in, you get a few emails, and then it's over. It's what worries me is these sequences that are like evergreen forever and ever and ever. Amen. But yeah, do go in in fact, that's a really good. Christina says, I have a welcome sequence, but I probably need to edit it. I need to do the same thing because you go in every few years and you're like, oh my God, what have I been telling these people? So anyone else? Kim?
Have you had a chance to remove the upsell from the offer I'm trying to
Oh,
make?
let me go in and I'll look at that right afterwards.
Yeah.
I haven't
And I
gotten to
sent you a
intercom
little
this
thing
morning.
about Canva.
Okay.
Watch the
I,
video, it's really worth it. You'll like it.
oh, cool, 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 cool. I am, oh, System IO, Jacqueline just put in the chat, System IO just reduced the price to $17 per month for up to 5K contacts. That's a really good deal. So that's great. Thanks, Jacqueline. And the 2K contacts are on the free plan. That's amazing. Yeah, the thing is you if you then you if you try it out, you like it, you can build there, and then you have something that you've learned. But then if you're like, oh, I don't feel like I have everything I need, just move it. It doesn't matter. I've been on like literally every single one of the old ones. I used Mad Mimi for a really long time. I don't even know if they're still around. But I loved them for a long time. And I was started on MailChimp because that was the only one at the very, very beginning. So many, many years ago. Yeah, Cynthia says it's a good idea to download a CSV every once in a while just in case. Super easy to do, by the way. In fact, that's maybe your number one. If you have a list somewhere, is this afternoon, just go in and push the button to download the CSV and just put it into a file folder in Google Drive or something that just says my list. And then every few months, just go ahead and do that again. The I haven't had a lot of problems with like the big companies ever losing it. But remember, though, that is your list. That is not their list. That is your list. Those are you own that list. You cultivated that list. So having that available is really good. So, all right. Well, everyone, like I said, we're doing a pleading for, irritations, bugs, crazy stuff you see in PageWheel, something that has been on your chest that you just haven't had the guts to tell me. It's okay. Today's the day. Send it to me in the live chat. I have literally a big long list that the team is working through, and then we have a few fires that one of them is Kim's that I will look at right afterwards. But
We can post anonymously, right? If we don't tell you who we are.
okay, so the secret is if you log out, I do not know who you are. So when you're logged in, your email address comes through. But Kim messaged me the other day when it was you, Kim, that you were logged out the other day.
Yeah, I think I couldn't get in past the front screen,
Because
so I
it
was
comes in
logged
as
out.
anonymous, and then I'm like, and what is your email address? And she's like, and I was like,
Telling
oh,
her
hi,
my life
Kim.
story.
So yeah, the secret is if you have something really pressing that you are embarrassed to tell us, you can log out and send it to me and then log
Hit the
back in
chat.
and I won't know.
And then you
So
can go, oh, Holly, it's just me.
I know.
I've been afraid to log in under my new email. I've just been using what's there because I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to get in. So should I just do it anyway? And then if it doesn't work, I didn't know I could get a hold of you and chat without being logged in. This is a new feature.
Oh yeah. You can.
Okay.
You just will have to tell me that it's you.
Okay.
But yeah, so Cynthia, try with the new one because the
Okay.
thing is the old one would still work if the new one doesn't. Does that make
Okay.
sense? Yeah.
Yep. I'll try it.
And
Thanks.
then if it doesn't work, then you can be either logged in or logged out to tell me. So,
It just worked out that the front page has the chat thing on it because I got kicked out for some reason,
yeah.
and I was like, oh, how am I going to reach them? And little chat buttons there. I was like, yes, it's right there where
I'm always
everybody can
like,
see it.
and generally, of course, most of you are all logged in unless we have a problem. And so generally, I get anonymous ones all the time, but it's usually for people who are like, it's usually sales questions, like, tell me a little bit more about PageWheel or something like that. So it's always funny when it's like, oh, this is Kim. Like, hi, Kim. I'm always on my best behavior, on the anonymous ones because they're usually people looking at PageWheel to buy.
I'm asking her, are you playing with the buttons and screwing around with me? Oh, sorry, this is Kim.
All right, guys, have an amazing weekend. And I'm around. I'll be popping in and out all weekend on live chat if anyone needs anything. So bye.